Ben Simmons signed with the Clippers after being bought out by the Brooklyn Nets, and he had. You know what? Someone asked me about this. On the weekend, I was at an event. Someone stopped me. They said, Mo, what do you think about Ben Simmons? And I said, it would be the funniest thing ever if he went to the Clippers and turned his career around. Then last night, he played 27 minutes, 4 of 5 from the field for 12 points, 6 assists, 7 rebounds, 3 steals, and a block. Is this the resurgence of Ben Simmons? Or is this, you know, my contract expires and I need a new contract, so let me actually cook up for the next couple of months and fool someone into paying me? Are you buying a Ben Simmons stock, BJ?
I've been watching Ben Simmons since he was in high school in Australia. I actually went to Australia to watch Ben Simmons. I watched Ben Simmons perform in high school when he came here to America. And God, it seems like it's been such a long time. It was like him and D'Lo. I think all those guys were on the same high school
LSU.
team.
Oh no, at high
No,
school.
not in
Yeah,
high
yeah, yeah, yeah.
school. And then I watched him at LSU.
Coach Sir in the house.
Coach Sir, who is a friend of the show, coached him. So I feel I have a pretty good view of Ben Simmons and who he is, who he really is. Not the player that you just see on television. But, I've had friends who've coached him, players who've played with him, and I've watched him play numerous times, high school, college, and in the pros. So to answer your question, you are who you are. Now, what does that mean? Talent, I mean, he's 6'10", he's fast, he can handle, and you saw what he's capable of doing last night. That's what I've seen every step of the way. However, for whatever the reason may have been, has been, and will be in the future, it hasn't happened for him
But
in the pros. It
it
hasn't happened for
has,
him.
because the first couple seasons he was an all-star. Was he on the all defensive team as well? He was great. Up until that fateful series against the Hawks, really, which changed everything.
I am referring more to his body of work, like not just like last night. You'll see a game like that, and you'll be like, oh wow, and then all of a sudden there'll be a game you'll be like, what happened? Because when you see it, you're asking every player, not just him, and this is a lesson for every player to become a professional. When you become a professional, if you're scoring, if you give me a game where you do 12, 8, and 8, now my job is to say, well, I've seen you do it, so let's see if we can repeat that. That's called a professional, right? If you score 28 one night, 2 the next, you're still working. They call that potential. At some point here, we, myself included, have to take that word potential off our name. What he did last night, Ben Simmons is capable. And I've seen him since high school. Like I've seen him do that same exact thing. I saw him doing in high school. I saw him doing in college. I saw him do it in Australia when I went to see him. I've seen him do it in the NBA. And then he does it, and then all of a sudden people say, well, he's going to get traded. And no, it's there. It's there. And I think right now he's probably in a role where no one's expecting him to do that. So that's why he does it. So, okay. And then all of a sudden, when you expect him to do that in critical moments or on a nightly basis, that to me is the only question I've had in scouting this young man for so long. Now I'm just at a point where, yeah, you're going to see that from time to time. It'll be nice to see it more times than not, but you are who you are. and he is an incredible talent. I don't know where his back situation really is at now. I know he's had some issues with his back. I think that's probably been his main issue for why he's missed so many
Hmm.
games over the last couple of years. But when he's playing, he's capable. No one's ever said he doesn't have talent. You can't say that. If you evaluate him and you're scouting him, you can't put in your report he doesn't have talent. That's
No,
one thing it's
no,
not
he's
going to
a
be in the report.
three-time All-Star, two-time All-Defensive First Team. He was the Rookie of the Year. He's shown that he can produce at a high level in the NBA. I don't know what happened in Philadelphia, but the biggest part of his game last night for me was he went 4 from 4 from the free throw line, where previously he was scared to even take layups in case he got fouled. And last night he's knocking down his free throw. So, I make a lot of jokes, but credit to Ben Simmons working on the weaknesses in his game. And maybe he
Let's
can keep
yeah.
producing coming off the bench and keep doing this on a consistent level. Maybe.